I want to offer you a couple of observations from today's gospel. So the gospel reveals that Jesus wanted to have an alone time with his disciples for a special moment of teaching. He says that he was walking through Galilee towards Capernaum, but he didn't want anyone to know that he was going through Galilee because he had that time with his disciples. And he reveals something about the future. He says the Son of Man will be delivered, they will kill him, and after 3 days he will die. What is the reaction of the apostles? They don't understand. And they're too scared to ask. Not only are they incapable of understanding, not only are they unwilling to ask because they don't want to look foolish, after Jesus has given them this teaching, they're speaking about exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to be teaching. Speaking about who's going to be the greatest. I thought of an example. Imagine that parents are teaching their kids about Lent and about fasting during Lent. And when parents turn away, kids are speaking about when are we going to have cookies. Exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. So this reminds us that sometimes it's hard to grasp the teachings of Jesus. And it's hard to grasp the teachings of the church. And everybody has their own process in grasping and understanding the teachings of the Lord. Especially people that are coming perhaps from an unchurched family. The teachings of the church are hard. And you don't get them at once. But it's a process where we have to have patience with ourselves in the same way that Jesus had patience with his disciples. But I also enjoy the fact that they were discussing about who was going to be the greatest among them, the first among them. Jesus, he's not upset that they want to be the greatest, but he just shows them how they're meant to be the greatest. And this is typical about Jesus. He works with what he has, but he makes it better. He's not upset that they want to be the best. He just shows them how they're meant to be the best. So Jesus does this all the time. He finds fisher, he makes them fisher of men. He encounters Paul, who was very zealous about the Jewish faith. He makes them the greatest apostle. And for example, parents, if they have a kid who has a lot of energy, how do you educate? You can't suppress the energy. You give direction to the energy. So the energy is directed in the right place. So I think we could finish the homily with this question. What tendency do I find in myself that if directed to the right place could give a lot of fruit? What good tendency is there in me that if I was wise enough to give it something noble and something good to go towards to, could give great fruits? So today, brothers and sisters, number one, have patience with yourself. If you're struggling with the teachings of the church, the apostles didn't understand Jesus. And second, know that what God wants to do with us is direct whatever good tendency there is towards a higher and more noble object.